You ever feel like you're chasing peace, clarity, and wisdom? Only to realize you're just getting really good at sitting quietly while your thoughts still throw a party behind your eyeballs? Yeah, welcome to Zen. But here's the plot twist. Zen isn't a vibe. It's not a philosophy. It's not even a state of mind. Zen is activity. That's right. Like surfing, solving a Rubik's Cube, or wrestling with your inbox on a Monday morning. Zen has motion. And where there is motion, there is an explanation. And today, we're cracking open the gears and pistons behind what Zen actually is. First, let's revisit some essentials. Recall the notion that we humans, by default, naturally slice up experience into neat little boxes. Objects, labels, me, you, that cat, and that coffee mug. But once we start slicing, we don't stop there. We slap the label of permanence onto things that aren't permanent. We assign identities where there's only interaction. So what's the alternative to a world of objects? Activity, movement, flow, where all awareness is more like verbs than nouns. And with respect to activity, recall the Zen master Joshu Sasaki's teaching of zero. As the Buddha taught, zero inevitably splits into two naturally opposing activities which inevitably disappear back into zero. Translation? All activity, including Zen, emerges from a kind of creative nothingness, splits into plus and minus, then vanishes back into silence. Boom. Zen cycle complete. And so, recognizing Zen first as a spiritual pursuit, let's zoom out for a second and revisit the notion of spirituality. In a previous episode, we defined spirituality as any activity intended in pursuit of the highest good. And the notion of the highest good, that activity which is done for its own sake. And previously we described Buddhism as the set of spiritual activities where the highest good is the realization of infinite mind. And on to Zen. How about this? Zen is a particular flavor of Buddhism with two additional requirements: copious amounts of Zazen and regular engagement with a living, breathing teacher. Think of it as Buddhism with an actual Buddha. And because Zen is an activity, aka a manifestation of zero, it follows the same 4-beat rhythm as any other activity. It starts with Zero-Zen, the preconditions necessary for the Zen activity to arise. So, what has to be in place before Zen can kick off? Expanding on the requirements for Zero Buddhism, we need 3 things. A living, breathing, enlightened teacher, a clear path incorporating copious amounts of Zazen, and an understanding of the obstacles expected along the way. Next, there must be a trigger, a spark, the moment that causes the Zero-Zen split into the Zen activity. And here's the kicker. Unlike traditional Buddhism, the Zen trigger isn't totally random. Thanks to the requirement of a living, breathing, enlightened teacher, the Zen activity so often arises during engagement with that teacher. Read any Zen story, and you will find a teacher and a student. Triggered, the Zen activity arises. Zazen, Kinhin, Sanzen, Dokusan, Samu, chanting, stillness, sweat, and trepidation. This is Zen. Inevitably, the Zen activity ends. The manifestation of impermanence. Zazen ends, Kinhin ends, Sanzen ends, Dokusan ends, chanting ends, Samu ends, and we cycle back to Zero-Zen. Not sitting, not chanting, not engaging, not working. Zero-Zen. So that's Zen in a nutshell, the 4-act spiritual play within a play that starts and ends in zero. and with an infinite number of possible roles in between. And so, for the next episode, we ask the question, what is engagement with a living, breathing, enlightened teacher?